Today I got an Acer Aspire 5 laptop. I'm going to upgrade, well, I'm going to upgrade everything on it. I'll show you how I do it. Hey guys, how's it going? Dale here. I got an Acer Aspire 5 laptop. It's got the Intel Core i5 10th gen processor in it. It's nothing real fancy. It's not a gaming laptop. It's just got the the Intel UHD graphics, but the customer that bought this wants to add basically more storage to it is the big thing. They're into photos. They got lots of phones they're going to be getting pictures and videos off of, and they want lots of room to store that stuff on here as well as on the cloud, I guess. So I'm going to add lots of storage to it, bump up the RAM a little bit. There's no data per se on it other than the factory stuff. I could easily just do a clean install once I put the new SSD in it, but in this case, just for demonstration, I've done lots of videos doing these clones, but I am going to clone the existing drive onto a brand new Western Digital blue SN550 SSD. It's not a super fast drive, it's lots of storage, but it's not, you know, it's not a speed demon like a high-end Samsung or Western Digital black drive. So we're just going to add more storage there on the SSD. It's NVMe PCI Express. I'm also going to add a 2.5-inch SATA solid state drive, another 1 terabyte. So overall we'll have 2 terabytes of storage. Because there is a bay in here. Acer includes right in the box a little kit with the cable and the caddy to mount the 2.5-inch drive. And it's got 8 gigabytes of DDR4 memory in it. I'm going to take that out and put in a 16 gig module to get it up to 16 gigs of RAM. That's about the best I could do for the RAM on this. There's only one slot. There's no onboard RAM. It's just one slot. So right now it's 8 gigabytes. But this unit is not bad. It's got a fingerprint sensor. It's got a full 1080p display. Like most of the Aspire 5 series laptops are like that. It's got aluminum cover on the back side, which is kind of nice. It's got Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5, just got a standard 48 watt-hour battery, little AC adapter that comes with it. So before I get inside and start doing any parts replacing, I'm going to clone the drive. So for cloning, we're going to use the Western Digital Acronis True Image. It's free to download from their website. I'll have a link down below where you can get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my USB enclosure here, and I'll have a link down below where you can get these as well. It's a USB to M.2 PCI Express enclosure. This will not work with an M.2 SATA SSD, strictly the PCI Express. So it's got a little switch here on the back. You can slide it open just like that. It will accommodate all the different size M.2 drives. And as far as connection, I'm going to use USB-C to USB-C, but it does have a USB-C to USB-A cable that comes with it as well. So it's kind of versatile. They're a little spendy, but they work really good. We use them around the shop all the time, other than, you know, our cloning station where we do lots of cloning because we do a lot of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my new SSD in there. This just plugs right in. Get this open. When you're handling this stuff, try not to touch the pins. There's no tools required. It just pops right down over the little rubber grommet, holds it in place. But this can be used as an actual enclosure to store stuff on, external drive, external solid state drive. Put any size drive you want in there basically. So I'm going to run this through the USB-C because this laptop does have that. So I'm going to plug it in over here on the side into my C port. Oh, wait a minute. Dale, you're a knucklehead. That's a Kensington lock. Nobody uses that. Sorry, it's over here where you can't see it. Okay, so I'm just going to plug it in just like that. Windows just detected it. And the Acronis True Image right here, I'm going to double click the icon. I've already installed the program, and I don't want to bore you with all that, but I'll have a link down below where you can go and download that from Western Digital. It only works with Western Digital branded drives, either in the laptop or outside in an enclosure like this. All the different manufacturers have their own proprietary cloning software. Most of them use the Acronis. Crucial, Kingston, Samsung has their own migration software. It works really well. So we're going to choose Clone Disk. Just want to get the cloning out of the way, and we can put in all the new parts and have a beefed up little Aspire 5. So we're going to choose automatic. It's recommended. If you choose manual, it just allows you to have a little more control over your cloning procedure and your partitions and whatnot, but the automatic is usually best. There's our source drive. It's the 256. We're going to hit next. It's got a backlit keyboard, decent webcam, pretty standard. HDMI's got Ethernet port. So we're going to choose our 1 terabyte for our target drive right there. We're going to hit next. Pretty simple software to use. And here's what we're going to end up with. We have a lot of free space, as you can see. We'll just click proceed and kind of let it start doing its thing. And when it's just about done, or right at the end, we'll come back. Go ahead and let that get started, and we'll shut her down and put the new parts in. I'm going to go ahead and get the 2.5-inch drive mounted in this caddy while that's cloning. And I use a lot of Western Digital products, but of course, you know, there's Samsung, there's Crucial, there's all kinds of different brands. But I've been using those 3 brands for years. I trust them, they're stable, good products. Just gonna let this, all right guys, it started cloning. I'm gonna let that go. And when you're cloning your drive, don't use your computer, don't be surfing the web and trying to play games or whatever. Just let it finish so it doesn't get interrupted, and you should be fine. So I'll be back in just a few minutes when this is just about done, all right? All right, it just finished up cloning here. I'm going to go ahead and just click OK. It's telling us to turn off the computer and remove the source drive and all that fun stuff. So let me go ahead and shut this down. And unplug our adapter here and get the drive out. So if you wanted to, if you were doing this same kind of upgrade, you could put your 256 that we're taking out, just put it in here for extra external storage. Fast external storage, no less. Me no like hard drives anymore. I'm going to wait to put the screws in the enclosure. We're going to decide which way it goes inside the computer. All right, so we're shut down. Put my drive over here. There's a bunch of screws we got to take out here, guys. Yeah, I like to lay them out on my trusty little magnetic mat here so they don't fall off, end up on the floor.
Is that a 1, Dale, that you're using?
Yeah, I'm using a number 1 or a PH1 Phillips. Number 0 will work just fine, but the 1 seems to, on these screws, fits really good into the head. I use a 0 a lot, but you get, I think, a little more bite with the 1. But either one would work. They don't torque these in too bad at the factory. These are designed to be taken out by the user. They got big spacing around the holes, so it's easy to get in there. Nothing too complicated. They're all the same length. No warranty seals. They send you the kit, the enclosure and the cable, so obviously they're assuming, Acer is assuming you're going to go inside and do stuff or add stuff. I don't usually take out screws on camera, but I am today. But these are a little tricky usually to get off. They're snapped on there pretty darn tight, so you want to use a good spudger tool. Like I use these little blue triangles. I have a link down below where you can buy this stuff. Don't use a metal screwdriver or something like that to get in there. You're going to end up leaving all kinds of tool marks. You don't want to do that. So I'm just going to, on these, you can start in either corner usually. It slips in there pretty good to get it started. Just slide it along. Here's some snapping. It's coming loose. Just always be careful around your ports, putting your tool in there. You don't want to break the chassis, the plastic there, or like your Ethernet port here, for example. Gotta be careful. Gonna be moving this around a lot, so bear with me. Get a little pressure on it here. Just be patient when you're taking it off, it'll come. Get the back here. Got these pencil nylon tools here too. These work good for reaching in. Along the back, sometimes it's a little stubborn. Oh, that ain't too bad. There, came right off. All right. My wheelchair's flopping around today. Put my brake on, how's that? All right, here's our one stick of RAM, our one slot, and here's the area where we're gonna put our 2.5-inch drive bay. And this time we're gonna put it underneath this cable going across here over to this I/O board. But first, I'm gonna disconnect the battery from the motherboard. You don't wanna be dropping screws and tools in here and bricking your board, so to speak. So the battery is connected right here to the motherboard. Gotta move this tape out of the way here so we can get to it. And it's gonna pull straight back out of the connector. Just gently, if you can get a hold of the wires, should come out without too much effort. Move this around here, guys. Get a hold of it. I'm trying to avoid taking all that tape off there. I'm going to take that one off. Got it started there. There. So we got the battery disconnected, as you can see, we're good. And I'm going to open the lid. I'm going to open it up. Now on these Aspire 5s, this battery is just sitting there. The only thing that holds that battery in there is the cable and the bottom cover. So you have to kind of hold on to the battery if you're going to lift this up. It'll flop right out of its position there. So hold it. I'm just going to go over and hit the power button a few times. I'm going to discharge any residual juice that's floating around in those circuits in there, so that should be good. Okay? Just remember that battery is just sitting there. First thing, I'm going to change the RAM. We're going to open our spreaders there, get the 8 gig stick out. It's just DDR4 2400. I'm going to put a 16 gig stick into the same speed. DDR4 2400. Boom. Our cable, when we connect it to the motherboard over here, it's going to connect right here. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see, but right here is the connector. We have to get this little arm flipped up here, but it's right underneath the Wi-Fi card. So unfortunately, we got to loosen the screws so the Wi-Fi card is going to pop up. So I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to get my caddy set up here. Over here, we're going to disconnect this. We can flip that cable out of the way. We're going to put it underneath. They give you enough slack there where you should be able to put it underneath there. But those little arms flip up and that cable should come right out just like that, okay? So this is going to end up, I'm going to put this on the drive. This only goes one way. Come on, Dale, you can do it. Just like that. They got a little bend in this cable already. So it looks like we're going to put it in just like that, and this cable is going to go over there and connect right there. So we're going to put this in. Oop, got to mount my screws, Dale. My bad. And they give you the mounting screws if you don't have any laying around. I'm going to just get those in there. Too much coffee this morning. Just when you're inside, before you even open it up, always remember to protect yourself from static electricity. Very important. In our shop here, all of our bench tops are anti-static, our floors. Mat I'm working on is an anti-static mat. We've 25 years, never had a single static zap on anything, so we're good. So there, that's mounted. So we're going to put this underneath here. I got little pins here that kind of line it up for you. It's pretty straightforward how that goes in there. I'm going to reconnect this cable. Take your time on these connectors because they're pretty fragile. I got to turn it here, sorry. I'm trying not to block the view, but trying to get a hold of it. So it goes in straight. And just like that. That one looks good. Now to connect this, like I said, there's one screw right here for the Wi-Fi card. I've had a lot of people on some of my other videos tell me they can't get that screw out. It's got a really, it doesn't have much of a Phillips head on it. There's just, you got to have a really good tip on your screwdriver. I'm going to use my number 0 here. I've never had a problem, but sometimes they are torqued and they're really tight from the factory. Just want to get a good bite on it the first time and just get slight pressure and unscrew it. And that one came right out. I've had them where they're in there pretty tight, but if you got a good screwdriver, you should be all set. So I'm going to leave it right in the slot. Just got to flip this little lever up here. And we got to put our mounting screws in for the drive here in a minute. But I don't do that until everything's going to line up good, just like that. So we're going to go over here and try to connect this. I always struggle with these because they don't give you a lot of extra. Bear with me, guys. These aren't real easy to get in there, but there. And then we're going to flip that little white lever back down. You want it right up to that little white line right there. It's kind of hard to see, but make sure it's down. And we're going to put our Wi-Fi screw back in there. We don't want those antenna wires to come disconnected. It's not the end of the world, but it's no fun trying to get them back on there. I have a little special tool I made for that. This has already got Wi-Fi 6 in it, so we're good there. Don't have to upgrade that anytime soon. So there, we got that connected. Now we got to put our mounting screws in here, which Acer also included in the caddy kit. So they're going to have 2 terabytes of storage in this kind of ordinary laptop here with an i5, but it'll be pretty snappy, no doubt. I am gonna, I mean, that cable was off a little bit there, but I guess it's all right. Over here's our M.2 drive. We're going to take out the 256 here. There's one mounting screw right here for it. And by the speaker, be careful around your speakers there. You got one there and one there. You want to poke them. And get that out the way. And put our Western Digital SN550. And the aftermarket ones here almost always going to be faster than the OEM ones. Not always, but usually. It's just the SK Hynix, probably, like all the Acers, yep. Not a bad drive. So anyway, we got 1 terabyte here, clone. Hopefully our clone went good. Reconnect our battery, and once you reconnect that battery, just be careful what you touch. That cable down, that lid will hold it down though. Just got to get it lined up here. Get back in the hole. I gotta keep flipping this thing around. I just should have just took that tape off, but I'm trying to avoid doing that. And you're out there saying, just take the tape off, Dale. There, I got it. And then we're just gonna tuck it back in there. Watch your wires. Good, we're connected. So we got our 2.5-inch SATA drive, our M.2 drive, our new 16 gig stick of RAM. And we'll put the bottom pan back on real quick. Oh, I forgot to put my little piece of tape over the battery. Somebody would have noticed that. There, I passed. And snap this back in place, guys. I'm not gonna put all the screws back in it just yet, because sometimes things didn't go right and you gotta open it back up. All right, so I'm gonna put it here. Now it'll take a minute for it to pulse probably, because it's got to train or read that new RAM. So I'm gonna power it on. Totally normal for it not to pulse immediately. Sometimes I've let it sit for a minute and it doesn't pulse, so I force it back off, do a hard shutdown, turn it back on, 30 seconds later it pulses and it's good to go. It's just the BIOS reading the new RAM and the new solid state drive. So yeah, guys, I got lots of videos I've done on this cloning process, a lot of these different Aspire 5s and lots of other laptops. So you can check out my playlist for cloning and SSD upgrades and whatnot. Oh, there we go. It's coming to life. There we go. Like I said, you just got to be patient. It's all good. Now it's booting. They don't put SD card slots in any of these Aspire 5s though. USB, headphones, USB-C, Ethernet, but no SD card slot. Not even a micro SD. So there, we got a good clone. There's everything right where we left it. I'm gonna go ahead, let me brighten the screen up just a hair for you. It's running on battery. Go to my task manager real quick. Go to performance, memory. There's our 16 gigs of DDR4 2400. Reading it just fine. And I'll just open up File Explorer. And here's our new 1 terabyte NVMe we just put in. All right, so now that new 2.5-inch drive is not showing in here because I haven't initialized it yet. So all you got to do is go over here to your Start button and right click. We're going to go up here to Disk Management. Click on that. And it should pop up here in a second. Click again. Oh, that's interesting. Let me do a quick restart. I'm not too worried. If anything, I didn't have that connector in there all the way underneath the thing. I've done that before. It looks like it's in there, but it's got to go in a micro centimeter, which is no big deal, but I'm just gonna let it restart one time here. Things don't always go right.
That's why we didn't screw in the bottom pan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll pop right off, and I'm just gonna have to get that tucked in a little further, I guess. Looked like it was in there all the way, but each one's different. I'm just going to try this one more time just to make sure. Yeah, it's not connected. No harm. Let me just shut it down real quick. Don't do that at home, kiddies. All right, it's off. Only take a second. That way you can see what I see. Mr. Spudger's been busy today.
This will help troubleshoot if any of your users run into the same issue.
Well, yeah, don't panic. You know, it's usually some user error, I call it. It should lift right off, but we're going to look at it right now together. Sure looks like it's in there all the way, doesn't it? But let's see. My cable's connected here. I know the battery's still connected, but I'm just being real careful, guys. Just don't drop anything. I'm gonna flip that lever up, see if I can get that in just a hair further. No, it's hard to see. Sure looks like it's in there. Did it go in further? I just want to make sure. I don't want to do this a third time. Oh, there we go. All right. So now it's right up to, like, can you see that little microscopic difference there?
Let me catch that here real quick.
Got that line in just a little bit further there. Those things are so touchy. All right, so let me put the Wi-Fi card back in place. All right, Dale, I did it again. There it goes. I'm good at that. Laying down screws and like, where'd they go? All right, so I'm gonna set this back on there. I'm not even gonna snap it in. I'm just gonna set it there. Turn this bad boy on and see where our 2.5-inch drive is. Power it back on real quick. Should be good now though. Yeah, it'll be definitely a nice little upgrade. 256 gigabytes of storage to 2 terabytes. Not worried about that.
Where's the key?
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I should have hit. It should go really quick though. Did I do a hard shutdown on it? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this. Because of my blender, whatever, Dale. These do have lighted keyboards, that's kind of nice. All right, so we're gonna be good there, and hopefully our drive shows up now. So I'm gonna go back over here to disk management, guys. There's our drive. So I'm just gonna accept all the defaults on this. Oops, there we go. It's right here. I'm gonna it's unallocated. That's our 2.5-inch drive. I'm gonna right click and do a new simple volume. You could put partitions on here easily if you wanted to, either with this or any third-party free app, Xiaomi or whoever. Gonna hit next, be drive D, NTFS, yes, hit finish. Boom, it popped right up. All right, so I didn't have that cable in. I should know, I've done a million of these. Ugh. Looked like it was in, but not quite. So there's both of our drives now. You can easily right-click on that and rename it if you want. So there, got 2 terabytes of storage, 16 gigs of RAM. Got to get all the updates. Put 20H2 on here because it's not quite up to date yet. So other than that, it'll be a nice, snappy laptop with lots of storage. Guys, if you like my video, give me a like. If you really liked it, you can give me a sub. I'd appreciate it. Check out my playlist. That'd be great. I appreciate y'all watching. Have a great day.